Hi, I'm Jonny from Wex. I'm here with the Canon RF 200-800mm f6.3-9 IS USM. It's a real treat. It's their new super telephoto zoom lens, perfect for wildlife, bringing distant subjects close to you. We're here in Richmond Park and the sun's out, and we're going to have a look for some deer, and we're going to see what else it's great for. If you're considering this lens for your telephoto zoom, to add it to your kit bag, you might already be looking at the 100-400mm. The 100-400mm crosses over with the 70-200 in that 100-200mm lens range. So if you've already got the 70-200, this picks up straight where the 70-200 leaves off. One thing I would say, this is a large lens. You can't get around the fact that telephoto lenses are large. It's just over 2 kilos, it's 2,050 grams. The lens's image stabilization and Canon's image stabilization system in general is fantastic. The lens has 5 stops of image stabilization in its own right, and then paired with a body with IBIS that goes up to 7.5 stops, which is remarkable, and it does mean that you can hand hold it at 800mm in a pinch. And this fallow deer is obviously very chilled out because it's not looking up to check its surroundings at all. It's just totally absorbed in browsing around. I got one quick shot when it popped its head up. But it does seem totally oblivious to us, which I think is unique to Richmond Park and the Royal Parks in London. If you were in the New Forest, for example, you'd be having to be, much more circumspect than I am now for a deer this close. Brilliant, let's keep going up the hill. We're here to shoot wildlife at the moment, but it would be, there's so much going on in Richmond Park. There's planes flying over, landing in Heathrow. There's cyclists who are whizzing around the paths. There's a lot of versatility that you can shoot. So, a long lens would be perfectly suited for sports, aviation photography, absolutely. You can't get, well, I hope you're not getting close up for aviation photography. So you need that, and Canon's AI autofocus tracking is fantastic for locking on to moving aircraft as well as vehicles. So cyclists, wildlife, anything that you need with a Canon R5, R6, R3, paired with this lens will be a real treat. He's behind quite a big tangle of branches, and that is what could be a drawback to this lens, is that at f9 those will be held in quite a bit of detail, whereas a wider aperture telephoto lens might throw them out a little bit more. Obviously the solution is really to wait for your subject to walk into a clearer patch. The 200-800mm lens is compatible with Canon's teleconverters, both the 1.4x and the 2x teleconverter. That extends the effective focal length from 800mm at full extension to 1600, which is crazy. We're going to try that out on the skyline behind us. One thing to bear in mind when using teleconverters is that it reduces the effective amount of light coming in through the lens. So a 1.4x teleconverter takes down 1 stop, a 2x teleconverter takes out 2 stops of light. At 800mm, this lens is an f9, so that would go to approximately f18. We're going to try it out on the lens and see how it looks. Another great feature of this lens that adds to its versatility is its close focusing distance. It focuses at 80 centimeters, 0.8 meters, which makes it fantastic because it's such a strong telephoto for field macro work. It's not a true one-to-one macro. We haven't seen a huge amount of insect life on our stroll around Richmond Park, so we're just going to try it out on this holly tree here, which has got a lot of berries on. We'll see how close we can get our lens to the shot. Hand-holding macro is not what I'd recommend, but this is just to test how close I can get before it refuses to lock. That is locking on that bunch of berries there. Come a bit closer. Amazing. the detail on this. We've had a fantastic time in Richmond Park. I've really enjoyed using this lens. The zoom range is fantastic. I really enjoy shooting landscapes and details in landscapes with telephoto lens, and I think this is perfect for it. One thing I should mention is that the aperture range, f6.3-9, is not so generous, I'd say. It's the compromise that's made in making it so compact. The versatility that this offers is huge, and that's really the trade-off in aperture I'd be happy with, and I'd be happier walking around with a 200 to 800mm zoom than I would with a 800mm prime lens or even a 600mm prime lens. I certainly wouldn't be walking around Richmond Park with both. At £2,400 at launch, this lens is really for anyone who's wanting to bring distant subjects closer. If you can't pick one telephoto that you need, and you know that you need a long shot, then this would be perfect for you. I've been Jonny from Wexphoto Video, and I'll see you next time.